Student-on-student violence in the school system and its solution. Introduction. Student violence has been a major concern in the recent past. Not common in earlier days, nowadays, it has become rampant and raises teachers' and parents' concerns. Violence can have its roots in early childhood, promoted by the school environment, and may extend into adulthood if left unchecked. Student-on-student violence involves crimes like bullying, beating, use of weapons, name-calling, robbery, and intimidation. School violence is caused by various factors, and behavior is a contributing one. When some student has low self-esteem or poor communication skills, they may feel left out, which may result in violence. The family background also determines the habits of a person. Students from families where domestic violence prevails grow up knowing violence is a part of society and so practice it regularly. Violent parents or guardians act as role models to their children. Parental guidance contributes immensely to children's behavior, and as such many violent parents don't have time for their children and so no time for monitoring what they do. This leaves the child with no option but to get into bad companies or involved in violent activities. Schools admit students from different cultures and races. The differences in background, upbringing, and opinions usually contribute to violent behavior. Violence against Asian students. The issue of student violence was studied by Miller in 2009. He analyzed how Asian students from countries like Vietnam, China, Cambodia, Pakistan, and so on are mistreated by Americans and blacks in the South Philadelphia High School. Asian students live in fear in school and even on their way home. Nina Suchdev has added Miller's article by reporting how the Philadelphia district is risky for such students. According to her, action should be taken to protect Asian students, a motion that has been neglected by the authorities for years. The student-on-student violence in Philadelphia is directed more towards Asians. They are usually injured to the extent of being hospitalized. The other races are not subject to such assaults. A recent attack on 2 Asians is said to be because they were fresh in the school, but if it is so, freshmen from other races could also have been attacked. A Chinese student comments that they are assaulted just because they are Asians. The violence is started mostly by the African Americans. The issues of student violence are not restricted to the Philadelphia school district but also to other districts in the nation. The assault has also been seen in York Region, San Francisco, and California district schools. They are directed towards Asians. To stop this racial violence among the students, these districts have formed organizations like the Asian American Legal Defense Fund or an organization for Chinese Americans to fight for their rights. The issues have also been decreased by the intervention of the administration and the school districts. Hiring Asian counselors to counsel the students is another way of reducing the violence in these states. Student-on-student violence is an issue that is on the rise and has to be addressed with an agency. It leads to the health complications of many students and even death. The harassed students end up with altered behavior and become violent as well. Their academic performance is affected as the environment is not conducive to their studies. Violence not only affects the students but also the teachers, parents, and the country's economy at large. Solution. Violence in schools can be avoided by arranging parents' and teachers' meetings to address the problems that the students face and to look for solutions. They should teach the students what is expected of them in society to avoid violent activities. Parents setting time apart for their children can help change the children's behavior positively. The family environment provided by the parents also determines their behavior. If the family is not peaceful, the students learn violent methods from there, so parents should be role models. Teachers should monitor the behavior of students in school. Counselors should be involved in the counseling of students who have altered behavior before they cause violence. They act as student advocates and ask for funds from organizations to curb violence in school. Other professionals like psychiatrists should be involved in monitoring the students' behavior. Counselors from different races should be involved in schools with racial discrimination. For this to be effective, there should be good communication and relationships between students and the counselor. This method has been used to eliminate race-based student violence in certain school districts. Security maintenance is very important in curbing violence in schools. It involves the installation of metal detectors, giving information on violent hotspots, and even the employment of guards for close surveillance. Students can also be involved in keeping an eye on their fellows and report any suspicious behavior to the authorities. Setting up laws for criminal acts also helps prevent violence among students. The zero-tolerance rules were after committing a crime, including possessing a weapon, drug, racial discrimination, and so on. Suspension or exclusion is guaranteed eliminates violence. It touches on various issues like equality and seriousness in academics. It has been effective and has been shown to reduce violence cases by up to 70%. This solution usually controls misbehavior but affects the lives of students who are expelled. Conclusion. Students can also help in preventing violence by explaining its effects to their fellow mates who have these habits. The embarrassment and problems it brings to them and their families should be emphasized. Being friends with students who have violent attitudes makes them feel that someone cares about them and that they are not alone. Most students involved in violence are always alone and don't have any friends. We can also advise such students with behavioral alterations to seek medical professional advice. Support can greatly change negative attitudes in life. The introduction of student unions that support peace within the school helps curb violence. The students join hands with the communities, which are the roots of discrimination, that cause violence. Inequality in the school and the community leads to discrimination. The involvement of government authorities also helps in decreasing violence. The students, parents, teachers, professionals, communities, and government authorities' unions can lead to the effective eradication of student-on-student and other forms of violence in schools.